I'm Vin.
I'm sorry.
If you would like to get I'm Vin.
I'm Sori.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the filthy capitalist option. As Sori says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at vinsori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in a Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy merch.
Buy merch indeed. A child shall lead them.
To buy our merch.
Yes, dear listener. Yes, dear listener. Yes, dear listener.
Comedian stream in the works. DJ Nick, our comedian DJ.
Extraordinaire.
So we started yesterday on the, like, what is there no reason to hit a woman, or is there a reason to hit a woman?
Yes, it's Bill Burr. There is absolutely no reason to hit a woman. And since we had technical difficulties, we're going to add an extra one as well. So if you are not one of those people that's like completely in love with Patrick Mahomes and the way in which he's destroying the NFL for everybody else, you can come here and watch this because you can cry in your beer or whatever. And switch that microphone around. So
cry in your tea. I have tea.
Your tea, your beer, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't matter. All hope is gone because nobody's ever going to win the Super Bowl again because this dude Patrick Mahomes is killing everybody. All right.
Yeah, well, he gave all glory to God, so what are you going to do?
Having said that, let's go into Bill Burr. There is no reason to hit a woman. We're just going to go right from the beginning because we missed it yesterday. We continue.
No, we have these huge battles. You know what the maddest she ever got at me was? One time she was watching this show. It was like a poor excuse for The View. And they started talking about domestic violence, right? For the 9 millionth time this year, they're talking about domestic violence. Just in case, you didn't get the memo. Evidently, just some people didn't get it. It's not okay to slam your wife's head into the cupboard drawers because she didn't dry the can opener off properly,
Feel like this is an amazingly risky path to go down, especially me, because I'm I grew up seeing this shit. It really wasn't funny, but at the same time, I feel like that was one of the reasons why I was a funny kid in school.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? There'd be a lot of really crazy shit happening. The police would come over and then, whatever. So I can kind of see the idea of joking around about something like that. So hopefully, I know there's people out there. I'm not talking about being woke or trigger or whatever crazy word people use, but I do know that it's a serious topic and things of that nature.
I think
just wanted to put that out there.
I think the other thing too is I've seen shows where moms did some sort of they have some sort of a meltdown or something, and then sometimes I feel like that in real life, and I'm yeah, that was in that show. That means that you're not supposed to do that. You know what I mean? So maybe part of his joking about it is to bring that awareness to people's head, come on, dude, it's just a can opener or whatever the issue is, because it's not always
Yeah.
You know, sometimes the reasoning is just like the person just lost it.
It's gonna fucking rust, right? How do you not know not to do that shit? Do they really have to keep talking about it? It's like wife beaters watching. Oh, fuck! Ah! Now I get it. Ups a daisy, sweetheart. Here we go. There you go. Oh. So at the end of the hour, they come to the logical conclusion. They're like, there is no reason to hit a woman. There is no reason to hit a woman. And I was just like, really? I could give you like 17 right off the top of my head. You could wake me from a drunken stupor, I could still give you like 9. Dude, there's plenty of reasons to hit a woman. You just don't do it. But to sit there and suggest that there's no reason. Dude, the level of ego behind that statement. What are you, levitating above the rest of us? You're never annoying? Women, how many times have you thought about...
What, babe?
I just think that's a crazy thing to say, that it's arrogant to say that there's no reason to hit a woman. I think he's saying there are reasons to, but you shouldn't do it.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. He's like,
That's his
obviously you
idea.
get frustrated and you want to do something about it, but you shouldn't do it. And he's saying, what are you, levitating above the rest of us, that you never feel like you want to, you know?
Yeah, shout out to the Kansas City Chiefs and the tomahawk chop while there's end racism on the football field. This shit is just incredible.
Ridiculous.
We continue. Shout out to Patrick Mahomes, though, man.
I don't think his voice is annoying. I actually find his voice very
Oh, Burr?
entertaining. Yeah.
I think
way
his
he-
voice is perfect for
Yeah.
what his role is.
I agree. I
Like,
love
that's the perfect voice.
it.
No exit 343. It's not a replay. Yesterday we had technical difficulties and it was
So
just
we're back.
horrible. And so we're back, and we added an extra one because if you guys are gonna set it up and do all this DJ stuff, we got to come through for you guys. And if there's a technical difficulty, we got to find a way to make it up and go above and beyond. That's kind of the idea. All right, we continue.
slapping your fucking guy in the head this week? There you go. Every day. You didn't do it, right? Oh, dude, it drives me nuts. There's no reason. There's no reason. Really? No reason? How about this? You marry a girl, you fall in love, you buy her a house. You go to work every day paying off the house. You come home one day, she's banging the next door neighbor, hands you divorce papers. You got to move out, sleep on a futon, and still pay for that house that she's going to stay in. No reason. I'm not saying you should do it, but there's plenty of fucking reasons in that arc of a story.
In that arc of a story.
All right, that was a hypothetical. You want an actual story? I'll give you one. All right, I fucked up my foot playing drums, trying to get my bass drum foot as fast as John Bonham's, because I figure that's a good thing to focus on. 43 years of age, never married, no kids. I figure this is going to lead me to the light, right? This is what I need to do. So I don't know what I did. I felt like after I played for like an hour, and afterwards I felt like literally like there was some midget stabbing me in the bottom of my foot, right? Like I had lightning coming out of the bottom of my foot.
Can you say that?
Yeah, you can't use that term.
Yeah.
You can't say midget.
Like, you could have said leprechaun or something, right? The leprechauns aren't even, like, real. They're like, you know, like there's some leprechaun stabbing you in the foot.
Yeah.
Like, you shouldn't use somebody's real situation.
Well, no, I'm pretty sure they take that as a pejorative, but I hate that shit. They take it, you know, it's like it's such a just horrible situation to be in. We continue.
Did the typical guy thing. Like, I'm not going to the hospital. I'll sleep it off. Be fine, right? Next morning I wake up, my foot's even worse, and I got to walk my crazy dog. So I'm like, I can't do it. My foot's killing me. So I wake up my girl, go, sweetheart, can you do me a favor? Can you walk the dog for me? Can you just take the shift? You know, I'll do your afternoon shift. Can you just do me this solid? Can you do this for me? And she's just like, oh. You know, I had a late night last night. I'm tired. I have a big day. And I just go, fuck it. She goes, what do you mean, fuck it? It's like, why can't
Sounds like a me and you too.
Yeah.
you just say,
Although I don't say that.
No, you say, I'll handle it myself.
I'll handle myself. Don't worry about it.
And then I'm like, wait, what do you mean? What? It's just that. And then I go into the big explanation.
We continue.
no? Why do you always gotta like waterboard me with like a 20-minute explanation that eventually winds its way around to go fuck yourself? Just say no. So I'm just limping
how it
out of the
feels,
room. Whatever, go
waterboarding?
back.
Yeah, you had that conversation yesterday before the internet went
Did
fritzy
it
on
feel
us.
like waterboarding, though?
Oh yeah, it's torturous. It's torturous to hear all the
Reasons
fluff
for
as
why
to
it's
why
happening now.
she's not gonna do me this solid. I would just rather hear the no so I could just move on and transition to the next reality, dear listener.
This week, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to like set a goal. If I don't want to do something, I'm just going to say no.
Yeah, we continue.
To bed. You got a big day, right? So now I'm like limping down the street. I got like Tourette's. Fucking goddamn bullshit. Dog's walking next to me.
That's why you gotta take the fish oil, man. I used to have them random pains at the bottom of my feet too, man. Took the fish oil 3 days, it was gone. Never turned back. I'm telling you, that shit works, y'all.
I gotta admit, I got a little childish. I did. I got a little childish, you know? I was just thinking about my relationship. I'm like, this is the relationship I'm in? You just gonna do whatever the hell you wanna do, right? And fuck me? Fine, I'm gonna do whatever the hell I wanna do. I feel like listening to my iPod on full blast, walking around the house. That's what I'm gonna do. So that's what I did. Turned it all the way up, and my whole plan was just to walk by her like I didn't even know her. That was it. She came down the hall, I just ghosted her. Just walked right past her. Just trying to piss her off. And I gotta tell you something, worked like a charm. Worked like a charm. Yeah, hung my coat up, turned around. By the time I turned around, she was already yelling at me. But the music was so loud, not only could I not hear her, it actually looked like she was singing the song that I was listening to. It's one of the highlights of the relationship. So I knew what she was saying. I was like, whatever, I don't want to talk about it. Leave me alone. I'm going on to the computer, right? So I limp over and I sit down, and unbeknownst to me, she's like, now, we're going to talk about this right now. Comes out, poof, and slaps the headphones off my head. I got big ears. It fucking hurt. So I'm like, honey, leave me alone. I don't want to talk about it. Put the headphones back on. She comes right back up again. Poof, slaps them off a little harder. This time they spin halfway around my head. Caveman DNA starts coming up. Talking through my teeth. Honey.
Caveman DNA.
Who's that? Is he a boxer? Kate who? Kate who? Kate who?
He said caveman.
Oh, caveman. I didn't hear.
Caveman DNA.
I didn't hear the word. I didn't hear the word.
Jeez.
Leave me alone. Don't want to talk about it, right? Put him on. Third time she comes out. Poof, slaps him right across the room, and I snap. I'm like, fine. You want to have the fight? Let's fucking have the fight. She's like, we will discuss this later when you calm down.
Yes.
Right there. I just wanted to roll her up on her yoga mat and stuff her behind the couch. Just leave her there until she got thirsty. Come on, let me out of here. I have a spin class.
Until she got
Made your
thirsty.
point. This is ridiculous. No, that's the thing. Really is. That's the thing. I hate that saying there's no reason. Obviously, I'm not saying to hit a woman, you know. But saying there's no reason, I think that's crazy. When you say there's no reason, that kills any sort of examination as to how two people ended up at that place. If you say there's no reason, whew, you cut out the build-up, you're just left with the act. How are you going to solve it if you don't figure it out? Look how awkward it is in here right now. I said you shouldn't hit a woman. I'm just saying, how come you can't ask questions? You can only ask questions about what the guy did. You can never ask about the woman. Why is that? Why is that? What is that?
Because there is no equivalency at the physical level between men and women, and we know that. That's why. And once you put your hands on a woman, you cross the line into the physical realm in which anybody that's halfway honest knows that we have an unfair advantage over them. The problem is that now we're told that we don't need to protect women, and that we're told that there really is no difference between men and women at all. And it just may happen, incidentally, that X male may be stronger than the next female, but everybody's mixing and matching now, so who cares? So now, hitting a woman, I don't even know what the significance of that is anymore in our culture. Like, I honestly don't. So, I mean, there are instances where dudes are allowed to put their hands on women in our culture now.
Oh. Mm.
So there's that.
Mm-hmm.
We continue.
What does answer him right mean? What does that mean? Are you the idiot who got up halfway through the special during the bit and you're like walking around like I'm not fucking taping a special here? What's wrong with you?
Wait,
What's wrong with you?
What did she say?
Look
Hey,
how
shout to
awkward it is in
Vlad.
here right now.
Wait, I want to see what she
I said you shouldn't hit a woman. I'm just saying, how come you can't ask questions? You can only ask questions about what the guy did. You can never ask about the woman. Why is that? Why is that? What is that? What does answer him right mean? What does that mean? Are you the idiot who got up halfway through the special during the bit and you're like walking around like I'm not fucking taping a special here? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Fucking had to ignore all of that and now you're gonna like yell out? And not only that, yell something that makes no fucking sense whatsoever? Answer him! Answer him!
Answer him right.
That is kind of true.
Every fucking special I do, there's always one.
Honestly, though, almost every time you do some like speech thing in front of other people, people always chime in with something that I'm like, what the fuck is that supposed to mean? And you always qualify. It'll be like, oh, yeah. So back in the blah, blah, blah. And you went to this big, giant explanation. I'm like, how did he fucking qualify that comment? That didn't make any sense to me. Like that one. If you were him, you would have found something to say.
I probably would have. I'd have probably turned it into a joke. But he turned it into a joke and turned the entire crowd against that poor lady. Good thing the camera guy didn't zero in on him. That was Chappelle. They'd be like, yeah, that woman right there, the green shirt. No, I don't want the green shirt. We continue.
Always right down the fucking middle. Talking about hitting women, sweetheart. And I think you just added another reason. Jesus fucking Christ. You love this. I'm not even in a relationship with her, and she's fucking nagging me. Fucking unbelievable. Look, I understand hitting a woman's a bad thing, okay? Well, how come you can't fucking ask questions? I just don't understand. Like, if I get bit by a rattlesnake, wouldn't you guys have some questions? Right? How did it happen? Did you not see it? Were you fucking with it? How did this snake get so mad it almost killed you? Firemen put out a fire, they don't just drive away afterwards, they sift through the debris. How did it start? Here's an oily rag.
Oh, God.
Right? Look, I realize I'm coming off pretty ignorant right about now. I realize that. Let me extend an olive branch then, okay? I realize that there's some animal guys out there, okay? Horrible guys, you know, have a rough day at the factory, come home, tuna casserole, and just start swinging, all right? I'm not trying to say that those people don't exist. I realize they exist. They should be buried underneath the prison, okay? So if I can admit that, ladies, can you at least admit that every ass kicking doesn't just fall out of the fucking sky?
Yo,
really? Even hockey has 2 minutes for instigating, right? They understand that some back and forth happened before that shit, you know? You know what it is? Is every case is handled like that Rihanna one, where they just say, the guy's a piece of shit, fuck this guy, blah, 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 send him to jail, and then they never ask anything about that. You know, I'm not saying he should have done it, but I'm just saying. I'm just saying, dude, in your heart of hearts, what do you think was going down before that happened? You think she was just sitting there going, oh my God, Baskin Robbins, you want to get some ice cream? And he fucking, you know? Or do you think maybe they were having some epic end of the relationship fight and some crazy shit was being said? Maybe she was screaming in his ear some crazy female shit like, oh, fuck all your friends, I don't give a fuck. Maybe that's why I sell more albums than you, motherfucker. Right? To be fair, she could have just been sitting there going, I need a tissue. Do you keep those in the glove box? Oh my God, I'll bring my own. I'll bring my own.
Oh, what?
I'll bring my own. That was Rihanna. I mean, he beat the hell out of her. Like, bad. He beat the hell out of her.
Who?
Chris Brown. But he's right, because even Rihanna said it. Like, she was doing a girl thing where she hits you in the head and the face and shit. You just got to eat that, bro. You can't hit her. But he turned around and, like, two-pieced her, you know. Here's the thing. There are things that I would tell my daughters, in this vein. And then I would tell my sons, if you ever put your hands on a female, I'll destroy it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yep.
Like,
yep.
There are things about, like, when we watch TV, like, we pretty much watch all shows together as a family because our kids, like, are strange kids and they want to be around their parents or whatever. But we'll stop the show and we'll talk about, especially if it's relationship stuff, we'll stop. And I try to give the girls a sort of a sneak peek into the male mindset and how we think and things of that nature. And so, yeah, like definitely like challenging a dude, like especially if he's, quote unquote, an alpha male. If you do things that challenge him in certain contexts, then yeah, it can go bad. And quite frankly, all the dudes that end up with my daughters are going to get the talk like, if you put your hands on my daughters, I'll kill you. Like, I will end your life for sure. But, that doesn't mean I wouldn't tell my daughters, hey, there's trade offs with every kind of dude that you end up with. So if you want the alpha dog and the guy he's okay, then they don't react well to being challenged. Right, they're not gonna surrender. So you can escalate those situations. It would go really bad, and until the kid gets some maturity behind him, until he, get him out of his 20s, he's not going to be able to kind of restrain himself. Like I would definitely have those discussions with the girls, right? And then I would tell and then I would have the bad talk with the guys, and don't put your hands on my daughter, blah 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 blah. But like both of those things can be true at the same time.
Yeah.
Right. Both of those things can be true simultaneously. It's just our culture right now, the way everything is. I mean, we're so immature collectively that it's this girls versus boys nonsense, which you get the manosphere, where the manosphere, it's like, okay, and it's completely your fault if you're a woman. If your husband gave you a black eye, then it's completely your fault. And there are things you could do and you should stay in the relation. That's the manosphere. And then you got the crazy, green-eared feminists that identify as wolves or whatever, and they're saying that you should be able to hit a dude, do all types of crazy shit, and you should never have to retaliate because you're an oppressed woman in the, intersectional blah, 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 blah. Right? Like, so like, as a father of both young men and young women, like, I don't get the luxury of pitting one against the other because they're both my kids.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe I would be different if I was a complete girl dad.
Yeah.
Right? But I also know, and racially, there's the other element of it of like the brown skin black kid putting his hands on a white woman. Okay, that has other further ramifications, right? So like, there's just so many things where it's like people want to make this discussion so simplistic. Like if the guy, like I agree, like some metaphysical line is crossed when a dude puts his hands on a female for sure. I'm saying that because I believe we're supposed to be protectors. And so it's a complete inversion of our purpose. For us to be the protectors. God made us stronger than our women so that we could protect them, not so that we could be the main oppressor. And so there's a real line that gets crossed when a man does that. But I have a grounding and understanding for why that is. Right now in a secular world, we don't have a grounding for why these roles need to be played and why it's so bad when a man puts his hands on a woman and all the rest of it. And so now we're all figuring out, and it's every man for himself. And now we got Andrew Tate and all the rest of these guys out here misleading millions of dudes. And now you've got women going along with it because it's like, well, shit. It's either that or I end up with a beta male who will let a bad guy come in the house and do all types of crazy shit because he's a vegetarian and he doesn't have any protein in his diet. We continue.
Now, fuck that, because you know what it is? They never address how women argue, which I think is a core of a lot of that shit. And I got to tell you something, man. Like, I never knew how women argued. But after 20 years of losing every significant battle in a relationship, I finally figured out how they argued. And I'm going to tell you something. I'm starting to turn this franchise around.
What franchise?
Where she's always winning the arguments.
Oh, he's certified. Oh, get those likes up, people. We're going to have a lot less of these comedy streams. I got 68 people in this bitch and 18 thumbs up or thumbs down. You can down thumb it if you want, bitches.
Yeah, but put something.
We continue.
I have begun a winning tradition.
Okay,
this is how they argue, as far as I can tell. All right? If they're right, they argue the point. And they stay on point and make sure you stay on point until you're down on your knees, apologizing, begging for forgiveness. All right? No problem with that. Totally respect it. But here's the thing. If they're wrong, they go rogue. They go off-road. They start thinking of shit you're sensitive about. Maybe you don't get along with your dad. And in their head, they just start concocting this evil statement. Totally designed, this desperate Hail Mary attempt to make you...
It's like a pot with
the cauldron.
Is a cauldron.
So fucking mad you just call him a cunt. That's what it is. And cunt trumps all the bullshit they did to start the argument. Now it's not about that. Well, that's no reason to call me a cunt. And then that's it. You're in this room now, right? My girl knows my big thing is, my big fear in life is to be that dude who grows old, you know, grows old alone, has like that basement apartment, just screaming up at the younger couple, turn it down! That isn't music! So I noticed that anytime she was losing a fight, out of nowhere, she'd just be like, well, that's why you're just gonna grow old and be alone. Then I'd lose my shit. The next thing you know, I'm in the kitchen washing dishes for the 9th fucking time in a row. This is what the argument was about. I was so right.
Look at Joe.
My wife argued.
Blink twice, Joe. Hell yeah, son.
Oh, no.
That's why I'd be like, wait a second. I started this confrontation. Why am I apologizing to you? That kept happening. Remember, there's a big streak. I'm like, why is this happening where I always feel bad at the end of this?
Wait, how come I don't remember this?
Yeah. That's another one of the tactics, is the forgetfulness. Talk to him, Bill. Talk to him. We continue.
What happened?
Great.
So if you learn anything from my ignorance tonight, just know this. Next time you're in a battle with your beautiful woman, your wife, girlfriend, whatever, and they start out of nowhere, okay? You're winning, and they just start saying that crazy shit out of nowhere. Just know in that moment you've won the fight, okay? All right? Don't get mad. Bob and weave, slip all of that shit.
I was going to say, he's a corner man. He's a corner man. He's giving us the you know.
Yeah.
Maybe because you got a little dick. Just let that slide. Stay in the pocket of the argument. Okay? It's over. The argument is over. You've won. Just take a knee and run out the clock. All right? Yes. Lean on the ropes. Let them punch themselves out. And then in the end, you throw their psychology right back at them. Well, maybe we should discuss it later when you calm down. And they won't hook up with you for a couple of days. Who cares? Who cares? You rub one out. Rub one out like a man. It's the champagne of victory.
All right, that was good. That was not him saying like, this is good to put your hands on.
No. No, and he qualified it. Like the people that are just like crazy, like friggin' the tuna casserole, like you're just gonna go after somebody. But I
yeah, to Nelson's point, the what do you think? Which one do you think was funnier, the WNBA one or this one? Remember where he's blaming the women for the failure of the WNBA?
Oh shit! Oh, that one was well. I'll be honest. That one I didn't think was like funny because I was offended. And then after we talked through it, I was like, oh, yeah, that's true. Like, we can't do this. We can't have you guys supporting our sport and forcing that and all this and that. Like, yeah. So I changed gears on that. This one was funnier to me because, well, I mean, you and I have always had a different view on that.
What?
Well, like, I obviously don't think that men should beat up women. I also don't think that women should instigate men. I don't think that you should take advantage of the fact that you know somebody's not going to hit
instigate? What do you mean by instigate?
Well, I mean, there's certain things I'll say to you that I wouldn't say to somebody else because you're not going to react like, I don't believe you're going to throw me through a wall. You know what I'm saying? But I think that you should, if you know that, you know, I've talked to people where, you know, the lines were pushed on purpose because they knew how the person was and they, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think that's right. I don't think that you should do that. I don't think you should do that to somebody. And you know, I'm going to be careful what I say here, but I don't think that men should use their strength against women, but I don't think that women should go against like understanding the dynamic of that situation and take advantage of that either. I think that's wrong. So
Yeah.
You and I have had different experiences. I get that.
Oh,
like
yeah.
I've never seen that. I've never seen, except for out in public. You know what I mean? Like I've never seen anything like that. So I'm sure it would be different if I had seen something, but I haven't. So
yeah. How do you navigate when your significant other pushes buttons? I mean, just get out of the situation. Like,
you know, I'm gonna be honest.
Shit, like as a dude, like if you're at the point where you're about to ball up your fists and attack your girl, like get out of the situation.
Yeah.
Just remove yourself.
But
like,
do you ever on purpose push buttons? Like, I know that I do push buttons, but I'm not like, let me push a button. All of a sudden, like, oh, that was a hot one right there.
I mean, y'all know what you're doing when you say what you say.
I think that sometimes you're just
There's a
hiding.
big difference between, like, I think, like, a lot of times you are, yeah, we'll talk about that one. Anyways,
Well, is there something you can give to the people?
no, there's nothing I can give to the people. Here's George Carlin talking about the death penalty. This should be interesting. George Carlin talking about the death penalty. Let's do it. We were I forgot what it was, but it was some Christian event. I think it was Singapore. These dudes had they got jammed up for selling heroin, and you get the death penalty in some countries for drug trafficking, especially hard drugs.
Mhm.
And them dudes got the death penalty for trafficking. And we had a debate going home about whether or not that was cool or whatever.
Oh, that's right. I remember that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't think so at first, but I came around because I realized.
Well, heroin is just straight poison.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
people could say weed is poison or whatever in the metaphorical sense or whatever, whatever. Like, heroin is like literal actual poison.
Yeah.
So
I
like
think that was the
I understand the ideology behind it.
yeah, that was the thing that I didn't like really understand. I didn't like really understand where is weed in comparison to these other things. Like it wasn't.
Yeah.
You were like, this is clearly they're absolutely killing people when they're doing this. So I was like, oh, okay. So you want to discourage that as much as possible.
Trying to tell me that wouldn't be must see TV? You trying to tell me we won't watch that shit? Hell yeah, we will watch that shit, bro.
Who would watch that? I wouldn't watch that.
You kidding me? That thing would have the hugest hits in the world if that shit happened. Are you kidding me?
I believe it. Oh my god. You know, pause that. Vinny and I had gone on a vacation, you could call it that, and we saw somebody had been shot on the side of the road. This has literally never happened to me. I've never seen anything like this before in my friggin' life. And there were people outside. We pulled over and we were like, what happened? And the people were like, the lady was like laughing. She was like, yeah, she's like, somebody got shot over there. We heard the guns fire off. And I was like, what in the world? Like,
Yeah.
how is this a funny thing? I don't even
She
understand.
was excited, man. Breaks up the monotony. Folks get shot. When I was in the hood, people got shot. Like, obviously, like, if it's one of your friends, like,
Yeah,
but it was exciting, man. But I
really,
loved it.
really.
Oh yeah. Like I said, as long as it wasn't one of my folks. You see what I'm saying?
Man, that's so terrible. That's so terrible to put kids in an environment
I
where
mean,
that
I
would
hate.
be the reaction.
I mean, nobody put us in that environment because again, my older brother was in the same environment, and that shit did not excite him. I
Oh,
was just a bad person. Like that's just, I was just born bad. That's
I
all.
still love you.
Yeah. 90s, guys. Okay, this was the 90s. People like Jet, people like Delaney. You guys weren't even alive at the time. But this he looks like a grumpy old Jimmy Neutron. I'm curious what he's saying about the biblical sort of,
Retribution.
yeah, because the climax of the Bible for Christians is Jesus, and Jesus is dying on the cross, and the idea was that Jesus died in our place so that
Right.
we wouldn't
Yeah.
have to die. And
Yeah.
there's also a sense in which the crucifixion itself is commentary on capital punishment, right? Because there's always this big philosophical question, which is to say, is it you've got 100 people, one guy is innocent,
Yeah.
okay? Would you execute the 99 and say, hey, that one guy, or would you keep all those guys alive for the sake of that one guy,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
And so in Jesus, I'm seeing the ultimate. What if you make a mistake and you kill an innocent person, and not only kill an innocent person, but kill a good person?
Yeah.
So it's funny because I was having this conversation about theonomy with one of my friends during the Super Bowl, and I needed it so I could get my mind off of the inevitable doom of what I saw happening with Mahomes. And we were talking about theonomy, and I said I don't believe that capital punishment will be a thing in the next world, in the
Right.
golden age, because I don't think that it's possible to reconcile advocating in a society for capital punishment from a biblical worldview.
Yeah.
Um, so anyway, it was a very interesting discussion, but I was very curious about that aspect of um, what he was saying there relative to scripture. But we continue. time people were pro death penalty, like explicitly pro death penalty. And like he's obviously horrified by it. So he's like, "Oh, y'all want to really take it there? Okay, let's
Yep.
really go there."
The
So
blood's
first,
already on our hands.
exactly. That's communal.
Yep. And then when he said the olive fork thing, is that like, I mean, who the frig has an olive fork? I mean, you've got to be pretty up there on your, you know what I mean? Like you got to be some froofy type of person to have an olive fork. So is he referencing them? Like, we'll kill them with an olive fork because those would be the type of people probably that would be voting for that more or wanting that more.
Yeah. Wait, say that again. Say that last one.
The olive fork thing, and then he's like, we could kill them with an olive fork. Like, who has an olive fork? I mean, like that must be the elite people up there must have olive
Oh, I
forks.
see
I
what you're
mean,
saying.
so he's like, let's kill them with an olive fork and kind of like bring them into it. That slow it right down and like kind of like bring up their eliteness while at the same time like talking about how horrible this is.
Yeah, which is why he talked about the bankers, the white bankers,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yep.
he's going for it.
Yeah.
He's going for it, but he's being funny while he's doing it, but he's dissing the crowd at the same
Yeah.
time. We got banned. Hey guys. Hold on, everybody. Hold on, everybody.
Sad.
Chill out.
Hold on, we're gonna check it out and see what's up. We'll let you know.
They can't hear us at this point.
I never know when they can.
Yeah, I think so. He says. All right. Let me see. Let me look here. What's the message on the screen?
Yeah.
Let me check. Let's see if the fascists shut down our Super Bowl show.
Yeah.
Talk to the people.
Oh, we're back?
Well, no, I'm just saying talk to the people just in case.
Okay.
Looks like it, but easily fixed. Stand by.
All right, stand by, you guys. We're gonna check into it, see what happens when we disagree on live. Whoever's getting rich off the Carlin's estate pulled the plug. Suspended for policy violations. Suspended. Okay, so what does that mean? Does that mean it'll come back?
Yeah, that's usually that usually means we'll be able to come back.
So what does that mean? We need to do more stops while we're listening to it, or
Stand by.
can we keep playing that one?
No, we cannot keep playing that.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
George Carlin just read too real for YouTube tonight.
How many more?
That's all.
The rest of them are Carlin.
They're both George Carlin.
So what do we do? Do we just go to Twitter?
We got to talk to. Yeah. I think we can actually. Okay, so we're back. They can see us.
So DJ Nick, I think we're gonna go to Twitter.
Yeah, we're gonna go on to Twitter to finish this, guys, because we will not get a copyright strike. Actually, yeah. So stand by. I'm gonna see if I can get us on Twitter. Saraya's gonna do an Ask Me Anything while that's happening.
Yeah, so literally ask me anything. Go for it, guys. Comment section can come up.
Yeah.
The Super Bowl situation, I wasn't necessarily rooting for either team. I was good with anybody, you know. Mahomes, I think, is working hard for it, but I also the underdog story is cool too. So either one was fine by me. Okay, don't somebody doesn't have Twitter. Just get a Twitter. Like, is it a big process to get Twitter?
Yeah, Joe Biden and chat did it. Yeah, yeah, we're gonna be able to do it on Twitter. Just gonna get Restream up.
All right, you guys. So stand by.
Yeah, yeah. The MAGA conspiracy folks are going to be out in full relief with this situation. Okay, so we were up on Middle America and Twitter. Okay, let's see. Okay,
Okay.
what's going on with the people?
Can you just put the comment section over here while you're messing around?
So tired of the Chiefs.
I'll just post the Twitter link in the stream chat. Do you have that? The Twitter link?
No.
What is it? Just Vin and Sori?
Yeah, just look for Vin and Sori.
Yeah, just look up Vin and Sori and you'll be able to find us. And then Nick, are you good? Can you jump on Twitter or do you want me to